today what we're going to learn is not something very interesting. It is interesting, but more than interesting, it is beautiful. Really, what we're going to learn is something very beautiful, because you will thank God that you are living in today's time, and you're not born long time ago, and you're not born very long time. You were not so big, okay, and you were born in 1990, 1988, or you were not born in 1950. You will thank God for that, that you are born now in this particular era. Okay, and why you're going to thank God, we're going to see when we learn today's lesson. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. It's going to be very beautiful. Try to be with me, okay, and you'll try to understand much better. Okay, now, rules are for everyone. Rules are for everyone, just like in your house rules are for everyone, but there are sometimes specific rules also, right? For you also there are rules. For job, for your brother there are rules. There are rules for your mom, for your sister. There are rules for your daddy, mommy. But some rules are there. After you wake up, fold your bed sheets, put it back in its place. Okay, get up, wash yourself, brush your teeth. Okay, all these are some rules, okay, which you need to follow in your house. Like that, not only in your house, there are rules everywhere. You'll find rules in your school also, correct? Not only in your schools, there are rules in the society also. The main rules that if I say rules, you'll think of is, yeah, the traffic rules, correct? Now, we follow traffic rules so that traffic moves smoothly. In the same way, there are rules of social life that tell us what each person should be doing. Now, remember, if you don't follow the traffic rules, if suppose it say there is no U-turn, there is no, there's just one way, and if you don't follow that, what will happen? There will be chaos. There may be accidents also. And so, because of this, if there's red light, you need to stop. Only if the green light comes, you need to go. All these, if you follow the rules, the traffic moves smoothly. But if there is some person who's not ready to follow the rule, there will be an accident, there will be a problem. Then now right on the road there will be the accident, and because of that one person, so many vehicles will stop moving. You know that, right? That is a problem. Okay, so rules need to be made to specify each person's duties and responsibilities. So like that, each person should be given particular duty, and that person should do it. Okay, it should tell what a person should do, what is your responsibility, how should you go about. Everything should be given in the rules. If we follow the rules, our day-to-day life becomes more disciplined. We can work more efficiently. Like if suppose your mama dad says you need to this from this 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you need to do your homework hook or crook. If you follow what your mommy daddy says, follow the rule, you will see that you're working very well. You have no tension at the end. When your exam comes, you are not worked up. Okay, so that's where you need to follow rules. You can become more disciplined if you follow the rules. Now, a list of rules are given over here. Okay, now it can some rules have more than one purpose. So, for what are the rules? I will tell you. These are the rules. That is prohibition against loudspeakers in public places after 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, you cannot just put your loudspeaker and just start a party and continue till 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the night. No, all right, so you need to stop at 10 o'clock. That is a rule. That's a society rule. People have made the rule, right? People living together are called a society, and they will make certain rules for the well-being of themselves and the others. Okay, so free primary education for boys and girls. This is the government has given free primary education. Means if you go to any government school for girls and boys, they don't have to pay for their primary education. It's free for them. Okay, so every boy, every girl can get an opportunity to study. Okay, remember that primary education free hai. Then prohibition against dumping garbage in the river. Now, if you what is this dumping garbage, right? For example, sometimes you have these garlands, right? There are these garlands that they take and they put it in the when it becomes old, they put it in the river. Now, think twice. Okay, be practical. Okay, these are the traditions and these are the customs that are being passed on from generations to us. But isn't that a garbage? Isn't that a kachra? Yes, it is a kachra. Don't look at it in a different way. It is something that is not right. If you keep it outside, you'll have flies coming. It is going to get decomposed, which means it is gone bad. And that something that's gone bad, you take and you put it in the river. Imagine not only you, there are lakhs and lakhs of people living, and lakhs of garlands are being thrown in the river. Imagine how dirty you're making that river. And that is why there is a prohibition, means there is a ban against dumping garbage. Garbage is in any form. If it's kachra, you should not be throwing it in the river. Okay, then you need to change some customs and traditions which are not applicable. Next, protection against domestic violence for women, right? We have so many cases where where the husband comes, beats the wife, he drinks and comes, and violence means hitting, means lagda, jagda, and all these. For women, there is protection. Women are protected under the law. Against this, there is you can go to the court and the court will protect you from this. Then ban on child labor. Okay, which means a child should go for education, not sit and do come परिवार के लिए कमाई नहीं करना चाहिए. The child has to study, primary education देना चाहिए उनको. Now, because of this, now don't go and tell your mummy, मेरे को झाड़ू मारने मत बोलो क्योंकि वो child labor है. No, child labor is different. Okay, this is where the child is doing things that is more than the child can do and earning for the family. So this is different. That's child labor. Not allowed to do that. Okay, there's a ban on that. Ban on felling trees, hunting and poaching. Now, felling trees, you cannot go and cut any trees that you want, okay, because there's lack of trees, okay, and you cannot go and hunt. Now if you there's a rule also, if you cut one tree you need to plant more 5 trees, okay. So like that, there are so many things, rules which are made for protecting human beings, okay, can you see, human beings, and protecting the environment also. If you don't follow these rules, don't what will happen? Bye bye, go to jail. Yeah, so rules are meant for everybody, they apply to all. No one is above the rules. Disobeying the rules will lead you to punishment. There is no discrimination in punishment for breaking the rules. In this way, equality is the basis of rules. So you all are equal in following the rules. Rules are not only for the boys, rules are not only for the girls. This is a rule which has equality. Everyone should follow it. Just because I'm the prime minister, I'm not going to follow the rule. No. Just because I'm a baby, I'm not going to follow the rule. No. When the government says you need to wear a mask and go outside, it is a rule. So in some shops, they don't let the customers come without the mask. Okay, if suppose you are driving and the police catches you, you're gonna give a big fine because you didn't wear a mask. So rules are for everyone and it is equal. All right. Now, what happens when there is a need for some change in the rules? How does it work out? And that's for the society. Society matlab kya? Only Damodar society or वो उल्टा चश्मा वाला जो सोसाइटी है वो लोकल दाम क्या कुछ तो दाम, हाँ, that society? No, that's not the only society. People living together make a society. So people living here in my place, we are all one society. People living in your place, all together they make one society. Okay, so that is called society, people living together. Now our society works according to certain rules. There are some certain rules within the society, right? We make the rules ourselves, hum khud banate hain, right? We sometimes, all these rules are made how? We already saw the rules, we read some few rules. These are made by whom? By ourselves. We are only making the rules so that we can do what? We can protect ourselves and we can work together for the common good. Means सबके लिए, common good means सबके लिए वो अच्छा ही है. It is good for everyone. Okay, that's how the rules are made. proper changes are also introduced in the rules. Proper changes are also introduced in the rules made for the society. There is a difference between rules of society and the laws of nature. Now remember, there are two we are going to learn right now. Rules of society means जो society का rules बनाया है, and then is the rules laws of nature. If you see laws of nature in our nature, whatever happens in nature, okay, is under a law. Okay, what is it? We'll try to understand. So there are two types, understand, okay? Society ka rules and nature ke rules. Now let's try to understand it much further. Natural occurrences follow laws of nature. We cannot change the laws of nature. Like laws of nature matlab kya hai? The rising and setting of the sun. Now remember, today I am very tired. Sun, please आज तुम जल्दी मत आना, थोड़ा देर से आना क्योंकि मुझे बहुत tired feeling आ रही है. Can you do that? No, no matter what you do, the sun is going to rise at its own time and it's going to set at its own time. The changes in the season, you will say, okay, right now I become the Prime Minister of India and I feel, my clothes are not drying. So rainy season, you please stop. Okay, please now don't come again at all. Now I want some summer season because it's so cold also. Can you do that? No, it will not go according to you. It has its own law. It has its own rule. Now, just like that, the law of gravity does not change. The rising and falling of tides means the water waves, the high tide, the low tide, the phases of the moon, all these things occur according to the laws of nature. There are some law, nature के हिसाब से आता और जाता है, not according to your law or your rule. Nature's laws are constant and fixed. They do not ever become outdated. Okay, they don't become outdated. जो पुराना जमाने से चल रहा है वो अभी भी चल रहा है. Okay, what laws of nature? But human laws, the laws of society, need to be changed. It can be changed and should be changed according to this changing conditions. Now suddenly ऐसा कोई लॉ था क्या कि तुम घर से बाहर नहीं निकलने का? लॉकडाउन नाम का कोई लॉ था क्या? No. But because of this situation, because of the pandemic, there had to be a new law which said that you shouldn't get out of the house because of the lockdown from this time to this time. You're not allowed to get out. So that was a rule. That was a law. It has changed because of the situation. Understood now? Clear? Okay. So that's how we see the difference between nature's law and society's law. Now, we just celebrate our independence, right? Now, the laws followed in India under the rule of the British were different. Now, remember, when the Britishers came, they looted us, that's for sure. But because they came, there were a lot of good things that they did. Okay, the main thing right now was they introduced in education. Education, किसकी वजह से start हुआ? It's only because of them. There are a lot of bad things that we used to do called अपन कस्टम और ट्रेडिशन के नाम पे ना बहुत गंदे गंदे चीज करते थे, पर ये सब रोकने के लिए ब्रिटिश को आने का जरूरी था. Because they came, they introduced education, they worked against, they tried to tell the people what you're doing is wrong. Okay, there were missionaries who came in English England. People from England, they came as missionaries. They tried to give education. Now when they left, the Britishers left, they also gave India the Constitution of India. There is where 26th January you celebrate, right? Where the Constitution of India was established. Now in that, what is inside the Constitution of India? Rules and laws of how to live a proper life, of how to live in this society. वो सब rules उसके अंदर है, ठीक है? So all this was given to us by the British. Okay, though they did wrong, for sure there's always a good side and a bad side in that, right? So the good side, it has really helped us develop ourselves. Okay, now, but after that, when India, there were due because of the situations that were happening, there were more additions in the law. There were more deletions in the law. So all this happened, okay, after the British went off. Now, remember, look carefully. When after independence, the voting age was 21. Only in 21 years you could vote. But after that, they slowly, after 1988, what happened? The voting age was lowered to 18 years. Wait, agar tum 18 years ho gaye, so you can vote. So there was one change in the rule. All right. Now, these are just common rules, but there are terrible rules coming forward that I'm going to talk to you about. Now, people of every age need nourishing food. That's what one teacher is telling. But this one child has to say something. What was in her heart? She's saying, don't girls need as nourishing a diet as is given to boys? Now, in her house, what happens? See, at home, they feel only my brother needs good food. Is that right? Not at all. Now, this is a girl from the village, and there's where she feels okay that only the good food is given to the boys. Now, there must be some shortage of food, but when it comes to shortage of food, who is given preference? The boys are given preference, probably because they eat more or they need to be more healthy than the girls. So there are different things that people think of, and that's why girls are not given perfect, proper diet, proper food what they require. But don't think you are also included over there. Okay, you are not done like that. You are not given, you are not being partial. You are given the equal rights just like your brother, right? Now, it is incorrect to discriminate between boys and girls. Boys hai to girl hai. No discrimination. We already did that in the last time. We need to have gender equality. It is unjust to deprive girls of good food or prevent them from going to school. Such injustice can be seen with respect to other sections of the society. Rules have to be made to ensure that no injustice is done. Oh, yes. Do you know? Not only girls and boys. There was caste problem also. तू हिंदू है तो तुझे अलाउ नहीं करेगा ये. तू मुस्लिम है तो फिर तू ये नहीं करने का. Forget Hindu Muslim. That is religion. What about caste? There were caste system also, upper class, lower class, and then the middle class. Okay, the lower class were the very poor people who used to do all the other work like jadu, pocha, and rasta clean karne ka, okay, sewage clean karne ka. Those people lower class. Middle class bola to people were traders who like vyapari people used to do shopkeepers and all. Those were middle class, and the upper class were the people who used to are very intelligent. Okay, they were mostly the sadhus and things like that, and they used to be the top class people. Okay, they're very educated and everything. Okay, so those were the upper class. Okay, the middle class, and then finally it was the lower class, which were really given bad treatment. Now, let's try to understand what were the customs and traditions that followed. Now, these are something very, very important. You need to pay careful attention. We follow many customs and traditions in our life, correct? How do we follow them? Why do you do things? Because your mummy told you. Why does your mummy do the things? Because her mummy told her. Her mom. Why does her mummy tell her? Because her mummy's mummy told her. Correct? Now, we follow those traditions by observing our mother, father, grandparents, and other relatives. There are several good customs and traditions in our society. We celebrate festivals together, right? And everyone has a different way of celebrating the festivals. We welcome guests who visit us and are hospitable to them. Hospitable means we greet them with very good, means we unko welcome karte hain, greet karte hain. We are very good to them. Many of our customs enable us to maintain the balance of nature. Okay, so most of our customs are related to nature. That we have, the festival of the agricultural festivals, and so many things related to nature also. We express love and gratitude towards animals. Bail pola, you have bail pola where they express gratitude to the bail because he has worked for all these years. He has worked tirelessly in the field, so you express gratitude toward that animal. So like that, we see the values of non-violence and peace. Very, very important. Non-violence means झगड़ा नहीं करने का, मारपीट नहीं करने का, and सबसे शांति से रहने का. This you must have heard from your parents. Yes, 24/7 you must have heard from their parents. Your every mother and father will tell you, but tell your child, beta झगड़ा नहीं करने का, शांति से रहने का, झगड़ा नहीं करने का, शांति से रहने का. This has been our social lives in ancient, बचपन से, पहले से, forget बचपन से, पहले पहले जमाने से this has been. But okay, now I'll try to tell you. Even so, there are some traditions and customs that are not desirable. Yes, कोई customs and traditions है जो desirable नहीं है, which was really bad. They are not beneficial for the society. Now that is example is caste distinction. Because of this, a divide has been created in the society because of this caste distinction. तुम upper caste, lower caste, and the whole society is divided. Why? Because of this, it has given rise to inequality. The main problem was untouchability. मतलब, can you imagine? Can you ever imagine? ये जो poor people होते थे ना, ठीक है, who are not doing the proper jobs, who are doing hand wala jobs and all, okay, यहाँ वहाँ झाड़ू बिछा करने, they were not touched. If suppose the high class people had touched them, they had to go and take bath. उनका shadow भी गिरने नहीं देते थे. इतना गंदा उनको मंदिर में अलाउ नहीं करते थे. उनको टैप, the tap, the long time ago there was very scarce of taps and of availability of water. So the well and all, they were given separate well. वो well में लोग आते नहीं थे. They used to not. So it was untouchability. मतलब it was so bad. It was so terribly bad. Means, can you ever imagine? No, one person is not touchy. तो कितना गंदा है. Yeah. You feel so bad, right? Imagine these people used to feel so bad. It was an inhumane and unjust custom. It was a very bad custom. Okay, but that is why we people adore Ambedkar. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he's the one who took these people and said, no, you people also should get the equal rights of the society. And so he took these people, he gave them opportunities in the government and things like that. He involved them. And that is why people are so fond of Dr. Ambedkar so much, because he did something. He gave them a name and fame. And right now we see people of different castes doing great things. Some have become doctors, some have become engineers. They are doing great jobs because they were lifted up. Okay, so the Constitution of Independent India abolished the custom of untouchability. The abolished means stop that. Untouchability किसी ने भी किया, direct goodbye to the jail. Okay. Next, many times laws have to be made to abolish unjust laws. Now, in our country, can you imagine? It was the worst custom ever. You know what used to happen? If suppose your husband died, एक औरत का husband मर गया, then the girl had to go when the husband's husband, ये Hindu log, what do? They burn the body, right? So when the body is burning, the girl, the alive zinda ladki, has to jump inside, or she has to sit inside that thing, and wo zinda jalegi. Can you ever imagine even one thoda bhi aag lag gaya or it is little hot, how you feel? Imagine the whole body burning. The girl used to scream and scream, and because she screams, okay, you know what people do? Look at the first picture. They will in circle, they will stand and they will hit drums very loudly. They'll hit drums. They'll put the trumpet. They'll blow the trumpet, because the girl ka chillane ka आवाज ना पार सुनाई नहीं देने का. Can you imagine how bad and brutal and cruel it was? And I'm not talking stories. This happened in real. This was the last case. This is Roop Kanwar. She was the last girl who was burnt like this. Okay, so what people used to do? Agar tune sati kiya, this is called sati. Okay, if suppose you are burning inside your husband's, means tu sabse mahan hai. They glorify it. This was banned. This custom was stopped. Okay, there was a last girl. She was only 18 years old. Can you imagine? She was only 18 years old, and she died. She was the last girl to die in our country, India. After that, the villagers जिसने ये किया था, उन सबको arrest किया गया. Okay, and 6 of them, they were accused. They even died. We don't know where they are. They have been absconding. Okay, they have lost. And so what? And after that, this law had come. After this, there was no Satika case. It was the worst and baddest and cruel which could ever happen. That's why I'm telling girls, you be thankful to God you are born in this age. Next was child marriage. Okay, bachpan mein hi husband will be decided, and they'll be married off. The child even doesn't know what, and bachpan mein hi shadi ho gaya sab kuch. Now remember, people are making different movies out of this, okay, and different serials out of this. This is something very bad, okay, and don't even dream of all this rubbish. Okay, it was really bad, and I don't know how people pick up all this and make something very beautiful out of all this. Okay, so remember, this was something very bad used to happen, and it is abolished. If you see child marriage is happening, you can go to the court, okay, and you will be in jail if you are seen doing it. Next was black magic. Kala jadoo. If you are seen doing it, you will be put in jail. Okay, it is really something very bad that people started doing against each other. They used to do wrong things to each other. This is really inhumane. How could you do this? Okay, so this is very bad. There were many Tong Babu and things like that. Uh, that is still happening in India. Okay, don't think it is not happening. It is happening in hidden places. It is happening. We need to really work towards eradication of all these social evils. Next is dowry. Oh yeah, do you know that there is a ban against dowry, but still people get married? Okay, the husband asks for a big amount of money, sona kana kapda, uh, gaadi, bangla, kapda, sab kuch dene ka, sab kuch dene. What is wrong with the society? What's happening? Okay, it is something really bad. You shouldn't, the husband is, it's such a, it's so it's like a rowdy giri to they. And suppose sometimes if the girl's house is not able to give the particular amount of dowry, you know what happens? The husband beats the wife. Okay, why? Because she did not get dowry. This is what the wife is coming to the family for. No, the wife is coming to the family to create a new family, right? And not for bringing all the money and everything from her father's house. This is total dadagiri and torture, which is totally wrong. It is not. It is not non-violence. It's violence against women. The woman should be accepted as she is. Now you are very young, but very soon you're going to become very big. See, the days are going very fast. You're going to become big one day. Will have to get married one day. Don't marry a man who asks for dowry, because he's not interested in you. He's interested in all the money that you have. Marry a person who is interested in you, who wants to marry you for who you are. Okay, I'm telling you this now because I don't know whether I'll be there with you in future, but you should keep this in mind from now. And one more thing, you should keep in mind that whatever you do, be practical enough. सोच के देखो मैं जो कर रहा है वो practical है कि नहीं. Okay, just don't follow the customs as it is, but think twice before you do anything. Now, these are the social issues that we are going through. What are these? Illiteracy, superstition, child marriage, and child labor. These are things that are problem for our society. We need to really improve on this. Okay, remember superstitions. I told you that doll and that limbo and everything. Okay, that is something really bad. Okay, why are we following that? When you get educated, when you try to understand, you'll see that there's no sense behind doing all these things. Okay, so you can instead take lime and make nice limbu sharbat out of it. Okay, so see, that is why I'm saying there is still black magic going on, and that is why people are protecting themselves from black magic using all this. So these social evils should be banned, okay, should be eradicated. Wrong customs and traditions cause neglect of sections of society. Okay, we have no access to they have no access to education. Therefore, they do not get the opportunities of development. They have no means of livelihood. Okay, therefore they have to face poverty. Poverty and lack of education are the two biggest obstacles of our society. We can only make progress together if we get rid of these obstacles. Okay, now poverty means they don't have money, they are very poor. And lack of education, they don't know what they're doing. They are just doing because they are told to do. That is called lack of it. That's called lack of education. If you are not educated, means if you're not told this is the right thing to do, Baba ऐसे करना चाहिए, ये ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, ऐसे करना चाहिए, then you will keep doing things that are not good for the society, for you and for the society. Okay, and so there were people who used to kill human beings. There were nomadians, nomadians. Okay, nomadians are people who walk from one place to another. They don't have a particular place. Then there were adivasis, okay, who used to, they were the people of the jungle. If any new person comes to their territory, they used to take that person and burn the person and eat that person. Can you imagine? Yes, they used to eat human beings. They're called cannibals. They eat human beings. Okay, now these people were caught by the England people, missionaries who came from England. People have laid down their lives. Some people have gone to them. They have given them education, and then they have tried to tell them what you're doing is wrong. All right, so there are so many things that have happened before what you are today, what education you're receiving. If you look behind, you will see how many people have laid down their lives for this. All right, so for that you can be, they can see this beautiful free India. Okay, a beautiful India where India is free from everything, from non-violence, and from, from all these superstitions and practices which really which really make the country go down. Okay, now how do you protect your environment? Even protecting your environment is important. Now, they're just like there are laws, okay, for maintaining equality and justice in society. Laws are also required to protect for the protection of the environment. We are dependent on nature in many ways, right? Most of our needs are fulfilled by nature. So, natural resources should be available in enough quantities for the needs of our future generations. Therefore, we must conserve these natural resources. We must use them carefully. Now, all these resources which you can see right now down, okay, so these are not going to continuously be there. If you keep on cutting trees, you won't find one after in future. Okay, so there are so many things that are available in us. We say use water scarcely. Okay, use take, when you cut one tree, plant 10 trees. Okay, right, so there are so many things that we have, but we need to use them carefully. All right, now you really have to know about these people. These people are the ones who took over after the British left. After the British left our country, there were these beautiful leaders who took over the cause of education, who took over the country. Okay, and they brought so many changes. Now, every person, maybe Jyotirao, sorry, Jyotirao Phule, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, may it be Savitri Bai Phule, they have really done a great thing. Now remember, Jyotirao Phule, okay, Savitri Bai Phule, she is the one who is a pioneer, we can say, for women's education. Women were not allowed to get educated, but she has done a great job in giving women an education. Okay, so if you are getting education, there is someone behind that who has really worked hard. Okay, and so I want all of you to read this. Okay, you need to sit down after the class and read this do you know section. All right, and so once you read this, you'll try to you'll understand how so many people have worked towards this one thing, that is making India intellectually equipped. Okay, then what have we learned? So rules are made for people. They can be changed from time to time. Rules in the older days were in the form of religious traditions and social customs means, and then laws were made to combat inhuman and undesirable traditions and customs. So what all which was with the traditions and customs which were not good for human beings, it was removed by law. Law, with the help of law, these traditions which are not good were abolished. This is what we have learned today from this lesson. Rules are for everyone.